Today we're going to keep it real short here. It's a Friday, and actually it's Valentine's Day, so we're spending the time with the ones we love, mostly our AI and our computer. So I thought today would be a good way to talk with you about how to show your AI system a little bit of love, okay? Now, kind of just like in a relationship, it can be easy to just, you get into it and then you're sort of like, well, after a while it just gets easy just to do the quick stuff, do a little pat here, a little hey there, jump in the sack here, get back on the TV here, and you kind of start to neglect the little things that build the relationship. And in the same way, with our AI systems, we get in the same thing. We get here kind of excited. We get our systems. We don't really know what we're doing. Kind of like when we meet a girl at the first time, right? And you don't really know what you're doing, but you're kind of finding your way through. And after a while, you start finding out it's a little bit more difficult than you thought. And the effort you're putting in at the beginning starts to slow down just a little bit, okay? And one of those things that it really hits on is keeping your system clean for the system setup, okay? Because I know how you guys are. We just want, because I'm the same way. I just want to make a picture when I want to make a picture. I want a picture of a cat. I want a picture of a pretty lady. I want to do something, right? And I just want to get it done. I don't want to have to sit down and bang my head against the machine for hours on end trying to get that done. You know, I want to make the lip sync. I want to generate some audio. I want to do all this kind of stuff, okay? And it's very frustrating, of course, when we sit down and we get errors. Okay, and we go, well, I don't know why I got the error. And we're not computers. We're not all computer sci majors, right? We're not all techies. We just want to love the technology, and so we don't really know what to do. So here's where the temptation comes in. The temptation is to find that just silver bullet, find that just one way that we're going to just make it work without having to do any work, okay? That's always the temptation. Just, send some flowers. Just buy chocolate here. But we're not going to actually do the legwork to keep the relationship up, right? So in the same way, what I have preached over and over on the site with the Get Going Fast is get your system set up correctly. Learn the basics of installing your mini conda. Learn the basics of installing your Python and your Git. Okay, they're really not that difficult. It's kind of like, my mom, she'd always just say, if someone just comes, she does the dishes. It makes me feel so good, and it keeps me warm all day. Just the little things, right? Sometimes in our heads we think, it's got to be this big thing. But sometimes it's just the little things, keeping up on the small things, doing the vacuuming, right? And all of a sudden the lady's like, oh my God, I feel so loved, right? And in the same way with our system, we got to just do the little things, okay? And they're really not that big. Make sure we have our CUDA installed, okay? Make sure we only have one CUDA installed. Okay, a lot of people have 11.8 and 12.4 and 12.6. Okay, a lot of people, they've got multiple Pythons going. They got Python 3.12, 3.13, 3.8. I mean, they got everything under the sun all running at one time. Okay, you got mini conda. It's all crashing on top of each other, and people can't understand why there's errors. And it's like, well, hell, if I had a vehicle and I just threw everything inside that vehicle, right? I mean, I threw everything and I tried to get in there, and I'd be like, why do I keep getting poked in the back? Why does something keep doing this? Why? It's because you're just throwing stuff in there and you don't know what's going on, and it's conflicting. Okay? So, I'm a very big proponent of having a clean system, because if you just get your basics started, then everything else you do makes it a whole lot easier, right? Again, going back to the relationship analogy, since it's Valentine's Day, right? Go on a date once a week, right? And that kind of keeps the relationship going. You spend a little special time each night doing something. You just do the little things that keep it going. And with your computer system, it's the same. You go in there and you just make sure, have I polluted my base system? Am I still running my Python the way it needs to be? Is Conda still working? Okay, all these things, and And then you're going to find that it's so much easier when you want to install new stuff, especially at the Get Going Fast page. Okay, when you use our installers over there, it's assuming that your system is set up basic. It takes, it really does not take long. But once you get done, then all you got to do is click, and then it goes. But here's the thing. What is it that people really are looking for? They're really looking for a McDonald's thing like, hey, listen, I don't want to do anything. I just want to click it, and I want it to install everything I need, and I want it to run, okay? And you can find that, and that's what's called Pinokio, okay? A lot of you heard about Pinokio, and it's out there. You can get it, okay? It'll install everything for you. You can come in here with absolutely nothing. Say, I want to try rope, but and you'll click it. It'll install, and it's going to work. But I guarantee, because I deal with this every day, you're going to come back, and you're going to say, my system's got problems. My system's buggy. Why won't this work? And it always comes down to a Pinokio install. See, you can go out and build relationships, right? Going back to the Valentine's Day thing. Or you can just go pay a gal on the corner block to get your needs met, right? But I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, it ain't fulfilling. You get a rash, you start itching, okay? It's better to build healthy relationships, okay? My opinion there, at least with that one. The system is the same way, okay? You can go start this Pinokio stuff, and it'll get you running, but it's going to give your computer a rash, okay? It's going to make your computer itch, and you're going to have to give your computer antibodies to fix it up. Now, why am I saying this? Okay, let me explain it to you like this. When you install a Pinokio app or any of these big, like, we do it all for you apps, what it does is it comes in, it downloads big stuff, it puts it into what are called your environmental variables, okay? You can see this over here. This screen here is everything that your computer looks at, okay, to know where it's at. So it says, if you type Python, well, okay, where am I going to go find Python? Well, it's going to be over here because it says so in the environmental variables. Oh, okay. Where am I going to find my CUDA? Oh, well, I'll go, the environmental variables say it's over here. Okay, so this is where we put our stuff. Now, what happens when we start using something like a Pinokio app is it downloads everything and it jams it in there. Okay, it doesn't look to see what you already have. It doesn't look to see what's needed. It just does it. Okay, it's over. It's like you pay it the $20. It meets you at the motel. It walks in and it just does its thing. Okay, and then it leaves you there. A pack of smokes on the table side. Okay, now here's the other thing. Once it's done and you go install another Pinokio thing, well, maybe that one's got some of the same similar stuff, okay, but a little bit different versions. It's going to jam those down on you. Okay, it's not going to look and say, well, I already installed it over here, and so this. No, it's going to go in there. So now you're going to have two of the exact same thing in there, and now you got two things that are competing and doing it. And the more you do this, the more messy your variables get. Okay, and then you're trying to do something, one app is working and then this other one's not working, and then you go, oh, and then you go reinstall it, and okay, well, that one's working, but now this other one's not working. Okay, and then you come over like to Get Going Fast, and you get an installer and you go, this installer's crap, it doesn't work. And it's like, well, that's because your system's garbage. Okay, because you took your system and you made it messy. Okay, you took it out and you treated it common. Okay, you treated it like the girl at the bar. Okay, you just took it home and you bought it a cheap bottle of wine, and you sit down and it's like, yeah, right. You're wanting a relationship with your computer now, but your computer's messy. Okay, it's not good. Okay, and so then we go back over to here. You come find somebody, and you notice that, well, it's messy. Now I'm going to show you what a good system would look like. This is what mine looks like here. Notice I'm in here. Okay, I've got a few different things going on, but you can see I've got my Python, I got my mini conda. Okay, it's all the mini conda. I've got my Olama. Okay, if I want to go down to another one here, we'll pop back over to here. You can see this is, I'll hit my other one. Here's my other one. Notice how slim it is. Let's click to make sure you can see that. Okay, same thing. There's my CUDA, okay? There's this other stuff, there's .NET on my NVIDIA stuff. Now, what happens when you start installing this Pinokio stuff is all of a sudden, this is literally like 3 times the size, okay? You got 11.8 and 12.4 and 12.6, and then you got Python 3.12 and Python 3.2. You got all this stuff. Every one of these lines is telling it where one thing goes, okay? And then and how it works is it works from the top down. So let's say you do have conflicting stuff. It's going to look at the one on the top. Okay, so say it's got a Python 3.12 and then a Python 3.10 direct below. If I type Python, it's going to grab the 3.12. Okay, and I'm going to be like, well, why is it not finding the 3.10? Okay, well, first of all, Python 3.12 doesn't work for anything. Okay, that we're doing. For like 99% of the stuff that we're doing. And usually if an app is using 3.12, it's already embedded into the app itself. It's already, they're carrying it with it. So, but let's say you got up here and all of a sudden you can't get it. Well, oh, okay. Well, so then let's say you even managed to fix it. Then you go run Pinokio again and it just puts it back up there again. Okay. So the best analogy that I can think of, I like this analogy, I've used it before, is like, say you're in the, you got roommates, and each one of you has a toothbrush, and you've only got one place to put that toothbrush, So you go in there, you brush your teeth, you put your toothbrush in the toothbrush holder. Then your roommate comes in, he goes, well, hey, he brushes his teeth, and he says, yo, where can I put my toothbrush? And he sees your toothbrush there, so he takes your toothbrush out, puts it in the sink or on the nasty counter, okay, and puts his toothbrush in there. Then the third one comes in, brush their teeth, and they say, well, what's up? This is taken up, so he takes that one out and puts it in there. Now, when I come back, I notice my toothbrush is on the nasty counter. Okay, so well, why is this not? Why is my toothbrush on the nasty counter? Ah! And so then I grab the one and I put it back in there and I go out, and next time I come back, I realize it's back on the counter again. And I can't figure out why is it on the nasty counter all the time. Because your bathroom's not set up nice. You need something that you can make sure that you've got it in an organized manner. Okay, so when we install things like Pinokio, okay, it does not care. Okay, it's like it's just putting it all in there. It's grabbing toothbrushes, throwing them on the counter, or it's jamming like multiple toothbrushes into the same hole, busting. But now imagine you took that toothbrush holder and you broke it so that you had two. It's jamming 2 in there. So then you got toothbrushes. I mean, it's just, the bottom line is it's not considerate of your system, and I don't mean considerate in an empathetic manner. Like, well, I want Pinokio to feel for me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is it's just does what it does. It's a hammer, okay? You're using a hammer to say, I want this done. Bam. But sometimes you got to use screwdrivers, okay? Sometimes you got to get a little scalpel and you got to cut stuff. Sometimes you got to get little pieces of tape. You know, sometimes you need more tools than just a hammer. And when we're dealing with AI, the best way to make sure that you're not constantly frustrated is get rid of the hammer or save it for when you know you need it and you can use it in a responsible manner. Okay, again, I'm going to just show you here. We'll go back into our file. This is pretty much what your environmental variables should look like. Okay, now again, imagine like, so there's, let's see, let's count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Now imagine if there was 40 of these in here. Okay, it's crazy. Okay, then the same thing happens when we go over to our add or remove programs. All of a sudden you notice there's like 5 versions of Python, and it's like the same thing. How does the system know which one it's got in there? What is better is to build your system in a considerate manner, okay, in a clean manner, and then when you go, then get a proper installer, and then you click it, and then it goes, oh, there's the mini conda I need. Oh, that's nice. Okay, well, how? There's the Python I need. Oh, okay, well, that's nice. Oh, hey, look at that. Build tools is in there. Hey, that's nice. Hey, and the CUDA's there. Well, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and install because there's nothing to complain about. Okay, so I will wrap this up here with this. I'm not going to plead with you because it's your damn computer. You don't do what you want with it. But I am going to say that you really need to consider just setting up your computer right. It's not that hard. You can watch my videos on it. I'm online most of the day. You can come over and ask questions. I have scripts so that you can get it installed yourself. It's really not that difficult. And we tend to think in our minds that something is more difficult than it is because haven't done it before, right? So sometimes, like I do it all the time. I look at something and I go, I'm just not going to understand this. And then I'll just force myself. And sometimes it's painful. I get it. Sometimes it's painful. I'll get myself to focus, and then I'll just actually look at the words, and I go, oh, actually, I do understand this. I mean, I literally do this. Like, I will look at something, and it looks like it's all Greek, or it's all ancient alien symbols or something, and then I just force myself to actually read it, and then I realize, oh, this is way easier than I thought it was. My mind was assuming that it was already more complicated. So then my mind is just accommodating my bias. My bias is I can't do it, so my mind's going, okay, he says he can't do it, so let's use that as a base assumption. Okay? So then everything you look at, you're going to assume you can do it. But I'm here to tell you, you can do it. Okay? I know you can do it. You're smart, or you wouldn't be playing around with this AI stuff. Okay? I know you're smart. You can totally do it. I'm here to help you. Get Going Fast I have a lot of tutorials for you. I've got installers you can get it, but it's all based on just getting it done right the first time. Okay? Take Pinokio, wipe off its bum, and throw it out the door. Okay? Take it out, unceremoniously drop kick it, because it's doing you more harm than it is good. Okay? It's like eating a cheeseburger. I'm hungry, so I'm going to go buy not just one, but 2 large McDonald's French fries, and I'm just going to eat it. And in the moment, I'm like, oh, I feel satisfied. But then I go home and I feel like I want to die. Okay? That's Pinokio. Okay? That's what it's doing to your system. Okay? Now, I'm going to end here, but let me just say, to the guys that are now showing me hate and the guys that developed Pinokio, listen, hey, you did a great job. I mean, it's a fantastic piece of programming technology. Listen, it's pretty incredible. It's not a small thing. I couldn't make it, so that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that it's a hammer for something where we need we need eyeglass screwdrivers, this kind of stuff. Okay. So anyway, get rid of Pinokio, get it off your system, clean up your system. If you need help, you can find me on the Discord. I'm happy to help you. I also have memberships over here for people that want to clean up their system and are more serious about it. You can join up on a certain tier, okay, and I will give you a couple hours of my time and we'll sort it all out for you. And I guarantee you are going to find your hobby, the enjoyment of your hobby go up like that, okay? All right, well, we're going to end it there. You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday, the rest of your Valentine's Day, all right? Call your mom. Tell her, ask her if she'll be your Valentine. I bet she'll say yes. Okay, on that note, we're going to leave you here, and we will see you on the other side. Yo!